The space for compromise over the 2015 peace agreement in South Sudan is narrow, while the parties to the conflict have shown little interest in engaging in serious negotiations on the way forward. So says the head of the United Nations Peacekeeping Mission to that country in a briefing to the Security Council, where members also heard that the permanent ceasefire continues to be violated with impunity. The lack of state-building institutions and infrastructure is increasingly putting proposed elections next year in serious doubt.
Mass displacement, severe food insecurity, lack of infrastructure and continued fighting has left the world's youngest country on a downward spiral, and the window to save it from complete collapse is fast closing.
The peace agreement, I think in the past few days, has moved a step forward. The revitalisation, as they're calling it, is looking more positive, and there's a greater willingness by the various parties to put pressure on the warring sides, the various leaders, in order to be able to get them to the table and get an agreement done.
The Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission that oversees the implementation of the 2015 August peace agreement paints a dismal picture, with little or negligible progress made in the constitution-building process.
Given conditions around the country, mass displacement, severe food insecurity, and the total lack of institutional and constitutional infrastructure, it is clear that credible elections will not be feasible at the end of the current transitional period. The High-Level Revitalization Forum is therefore the best hope for reigniting the political process.
As the focus now turns to a high-level revitalization forum via the East African bloc IGAD, due to be held within weeks, while the United States President has dispatched his UN envoy to South Sudan next month.
Our bottom line message to the South Sudanese leaders will be that they seize this opportunity to take the initiative. They have a way to stop this violence. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development has presented them with a way to resuscitate the peace agreement, and to do so quickly. But time is running short. This is the last chance at salvaging the peace agreement in South Sudan. The different parties to the conflict must use the next several weeks to commit themselves to this process and to conclude it.
A regional protection force established over 1 year ago has yet to fully deploy. The force, which has a cap of 4,000 troops, is meant to add an additional layer of security and allow existing peacekeepers to fan out across an increasingly unstable country. So far, only approximately 600 are on the ground, with a further 700 expected within the next month. With the Revitalization Forum looming, the AU Peace and Security Council has threatened sanctions on those impeding the implementation of the peace agreement. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.